The once heralded electric vehicle revolution is crumbling before our eyes. EV makers don't want you to know the dark truth behind the crash of electric vehicles. Once touted as the future of transportation, the EV industry has devolved into a bunch of broken promises and financial pitfalls, leaving consumers both angry and disappointed. The EV market is not just struggling, it's in a state of crisis. James A. Ziegler, an industry insider with his finger on the pulse of over 100 dealer principals, paints a grim picture. EV sales have hit a wall. Dealers are drowning in unsold inventory, and the situation is dire. This isn't just a minor setback, it's a full-blown disaster. Even in EV-friendly states like California, the outlook is bleak. Dealers across the board are reporting dismal sales figures, with Ford dealers unable to move their Lightning models and Mercedes dealers in a state of panic over their high-end EV offerings. The reality is stark. Consumers are rejecting EVs en masse. The numbers tell a devastating story. While overall EV sales may have increased in 2023, the growth rate is slowing dramatically, falling far short of industry projections. Bloomberg New Energy Finance had forecasted 1.7 million plug-in vehicle sales for 2023, but only 1.46 million were realized. This shortfall isn't just disappointing, it's a clear sign that the EV market is on the brink of collapse. It looks like the electric dream is short-circuiting faster than a Tesla battery in a cold snap. Turns out the road to zero emissions is paved with good intentions and dead car batteries. This video exposes the real truth, so stay tuned. If the high upfront costs weren't enough to deter buyers, the exorbitant insurance premiums are delivering the knockout punch. EVs are proving to be a financial black hole, with insurance costs skyrocketing to alarming levels in the United States. This isn't just an inconvenience, it's a financial burden that's crushing EV owners and scaring away potential buyers. According to a study by NerdWallet, EV insurance premiums in the US are, on average, 15% higher than those for comparable gas-powered vehicles. For some popular EV models, the difference can be even more stark. Insuring a Tesla Model 3, for example, costs about 27% more than insuring a comparable BMW 3 Series. This disparity isn't just a minor inconvenience, it's a financial wall that many potential EV buyers simply can't climb. The situation is even worse when you consider regional variations. In states like Florida, EV owners are paying a staggering 45% more for insurance compared to their counterparts with internal combustion engine vehicles. This isn't just a slight increase, it's a massive financial burden that makes EV ownership untenable for many. The high cost of EV repairs is a major factor driving up insurance premiums. We'll talk more about this later in the video, but it's a major financial strain that insurers are passing on to consumers. The insurance challenge isn't limited to individual owners. Car rental giant Hertz recently announced plans to sell over 20,000 EVs from its fleet, citing higher crash rates and repair costs. This move isn't just a business decision, it's a glaring indicator of the broader economic challenges posed by EV insurance and maintenance costs. If a major company like Hertz is struggling to manage these costs, what hope do individual consumers have? The situation is so dire that it's prompting action at the state level. In California, for instance, the Department of Insurance has launched an investigation into high EV insurance rates, responding to consumer complaints and the potential impact on the state's ambitious EV adoption goals. It's a sign of a market in crisis, struggling to reconcile the lofty promises of the EV revolution with the harsh financial realities faced by consumers. The promised network of convenient charging stations has proven to be nothing more than a pipe dream. Instead of a robust infrastructure, EV owners are faced with a patchwork of unreliable, often non-functional charging points. This isn't just an inconvenience, it's a fundamental failure that's stranding drivers and exposing the hollow promises of EV advocates. The recent shift to the North American charging standard has only exacerbated the chaos. As one frustrated EV owner put it, it's like they've pulled the rug out from under us. We're left with useless chargers and broken promises. This transition period isn't just creating uncertainty, it's actively destroying consumer confidence in the entire EV ecosystem. The emotional impact on EV owners is devastating. The anxiety of range limitations, coupled with the frustration of unreliable charging stations, has turned the simple act of driving into a stress-inducing ordeal. Long queues at functioning charging stations and the constant fear of being stranded have transformed the EV ownership experience into a nightmare for many. EVs aren't just losing value, they're hemorrhaging it at an alarming rate. With some models plummeting in value by up to 50% in just 3 years, EV ownership has become a financial death sentence for many. This isn't gradual depreciation, it's a financial cliff that's leaving owners in financial ruin. Recent data paints an even more horrifying picture. While traditional vehicles have seen modest price decreases of 5 to 8%, EVs have nosedived by a staggering 30% in just 6 months. This isn't just depreciation, it's a financial catastrophe that's wiping out the savings and investments of unsuspecting EV buyers. The emotional toll on EV owners is immense. Many who bought into the promise of a sustainable, cost-effective future are now facing the harsh reality of owning a rapidly depreciating asset. The sense of betrayal and financial anxiety is palpable, with some owners describing their EVs as the biggest financial mistake of their life. The promise of savings on fuel costs has proven to be a cruel joke. EV owners are watching in horror as their electricity bills skyrocket, often surpassing what they would have spent on gas. Home charging, far from being a convenience, has become a financial burden that's draining bank accounts and crushing household budgets. Public charging stations, touted as a solution, have turned out to be even more expensive than traditional gas stations. This isn't just an unexpected expense, it's a betrayal of the core promise of EV ownership. As one disillusioned owner put it, "I bought an EV to save money, but I'm spending more than ever. It's a financial trap." The emotional impact of these hidden costs is devastating. EV owners who were sold on the idea of long-term savings are now grappling with the reality of increased monthly expenses. The stress of managing these unexpected costs is taking a toll on families and individuals alike, turning the dream of eco-friendly transportation into a financial nightmare. The myth of low-maintenance EVs has been shattered by the harsh reality of astronomical repair costs. When something goes wrong with an EV, and it inevitably does, owners are faced with repair bills that can rival the cost of a new car. This isn't just expensive maintenance, it's financial devastation waiting to happen. According to CCC Intelligent Solutions, the average cost to repair an EV after a collision is 27% higher than for a gas-powered vehicle. The potential cost of battery replacement, which can range from $5,000 to $15,000, only adds to the financial nightmare. This leaves owners with an impossible choice: pay a fortune for repairs or abandon their investment entirely. As more EVs age out of warranty, this ticking time bomb of repair costs is set to explode, leaving a trail of financial ruin in its wake. The emotional impact on EV owners is profound. The stress of potential breakdowns, coupled with the fear of unaffordable repair costs, has turned EV ownership into a constant source of anxiety. Many owners report feeling trapped, unable to afford repairs, but also unable to sell their rapidly depreciating vehicles. The hard truth is that EVs are fundamentally failing to meet the needs and expectations of the average consumer. Limited range, painfully long charging times, and prohibitive costs aren't just minor inconveniences. They're deal breakers that are driving consumers away in droves. As one industry analyst bluntly stated, EVs are a solution in search of a problem. They're not what consumers want or need. This disconnect between EV capabilities and consumer requirements isn't just a market challenge. It's an insurmountable chasm that threatens the very existence of the EV market. The emotional toll on consumers is significant. Many who were initially excited about the prospect of owning an EV now feel disillusioned and betrayed. The reality of EV ownership, with its range anxiety, charging hassles, and financial burdens, has left a bitter taste in the mouths of early adopters and scared away potential buyers. The current state of the EV market isn't just a setback, it's a catastrophic failure of technology, policy, and market forces. The challenges facing EVs aren't just significant, they're potentially insurmountable, from crippling costs and infrastructure failures to consumer rejection and industry-wide financial struggles. This isn't a moment for reassessment, it's a wake-up call to the harsh reality that the EV revolution may have been built on a foundation of sand. The coming years won't just be critical, they'll be a fight for survival for an industry that may have already passed its peak. The road to an electric future hasn't just proven to be bumpy, it's revealed itself to be a treacherous path leading to a cliff edge. The ultimate success of EVs isn't just in question, it's looking increasingly like an impossible dream, a cautionary tale of technological hubris and market miscalculation. As the industry grapples with these overwhelming challenges, one thing is painfully clear: the electric vehicle dream isn't just deferred, it's in danger of being permanently unplugged, leaving behind a landscape of broken promises, financial ruin, and shattered expectations. The emotional toll on consumers, industry workers, and investors is immense, with the once bright promise of a clean electric future now fading into a bitter disappointment.